So, did you know that Super Smash Brothers? Like, were you aware? Because Super Smash Brothers. Holy potato chips, that Smash Direct was something else. If you didn't get a chance to see my reaction video, here are a few highlights. Oh, yeah! Sick! Yeah! Sweet! What the heck? And you know what? Going in, I didn't expect to end up making a whole video on it. I thought I would just do the reaction commentary thing and leave it at that. It's not that I didn't think it would be great, I just didn't think it would warrant talking about a bunch. But it is perhaps not surprising at all that I now find myself here gearing up to do just that. Talk about it a bunch. It just impressed the heck out of me, and more than ever, it made me realize just how huge this Smash is gonna be. That one Direct just said so much about the game and how the team is putting it together, and it hyped me up in amounts that I did not expect. And hey, looks to me like a whole lot of you feel the same way right now. So let's indulge in that hype for a little while and talk about how this is shaping up to be one crazy Smash Brothers game. So first off, how about that fan service? I'll admit I wasn't super aware of what the Smash community wanted with previous entries or how much those entries pleased the fans, but at least from where I'm sitting, this is on another level. And this is weird to me because Nintendo is famous for just not giving a puny's patootie what we want, electing instead to do what they want and hope we like it anyway, which we often do, obviously. I know Smash has always been about fan service to a degree, I mean that's kind of the point, and we got Cloud on Wii U for Pete's sake. But this, I mean Ridley, stinkin' Ridley, Jeffrey H. Ridleyson, which is his real name if you didn't know that. You gotta dig pretty deep into the Metroid lore for that one. But seriously, he had to be the #1 fan-desired fighter. He had to be. And if not, he was pretty darn close. And I thought that that would be the one bone they decided to throw us. I thought that would be the big crowd pleaser and that nothing else would come close. But then they were like, okay, let's move down the line. Who's next? Let's see, King K. Rool? All right, throw him in. Why not? They put him in because he was an extremely popular choice. And no, not because he's an iconic legacy character like a lot of these other fighters. He's DK's original villain, but it's not like DK has had that many games, and the guy hasn't even shown his face in ages. They could have easily left him out of this game and every future game. But we wanted it. We asked for it, and they paid attention. They gave the Smash community what they wanted just because they wanted it. And I can't properly express how weird that is for Nintendo. That's not common. Generally, our internet world and Nintendo's world are on opposite sides of the universe. Not with Smash though, not for Sakurai. We even heard him say it when he talked about the new characters. He was like, these are some guys y'all have been wanting, so here you go. His exact words. The Castlevania guys, they didn't surprise me much. Castlevania is an old, classic, and very important series. Simon's inclusion at the very least felt inevitable. Crom, another easy echo to even further represent their increasingly popular Fire Emblem series. He also felt kind of inevitable. But Dark Samus? She was in 2 Metroid games that didn't even sell that well. Unless she somehow comes back for Metroid Prime 4, she is not an important character to Nintendo. But you know who she's important to? Us. We just thought she would be a cool addition. So there she is. It's perhaps a testament to just how effective the specific character picks are that everywhere I look, I'm seeing people who are just like, they could stop revealing characters now, and I would be happy. And you know what? I feel the same way. In the past, we've had tons of new characters with each game, but bringing back every single old character was already such a huge fan pleaser, and the reveals we've already gotten were so good, I'm not even upset that there will ultimately be so few newcomers. This one little handful was crafted to have the biggest impact. And gosh, it's just amazing that Sakurai was able to pull something like that off, to please us so much with such a low number of fighters. New fighters, you know what I mean. The fan service goes beyond just the character names in the roster, too. It's the attention to detail that we see with each and every one. No Smash character has ever just been thrown in haphazardly. More than ever, probably more than anything thanks to directs like these, it's obvious how to Sakurai and his team, no detail is too small. Every move, every animation has been meticulously crafted to fully and perfectly represent the source material. It's clear that the creation of every character involves a tremendous amount of study. They didn't just say, we're doing King K. Rool, start designing a big crocodile guy with a crown and give him a gun or something. King K. Rool had a gun, right? Yeah, I think so. No, they looked at every appearance of the character in every DK game he's in and poured over every frame of animation. The result is pure magic, no matter what character you're talking about. And hearing Sakurai tell us about all these minute little details has really opened my eyes to the amount of care he has for these projects. And even beyond the characters and their moves, it's the stages and the music and the items and everything. Oh man, the stages. So many stages. How? If you know me, you know that I love me some variety, and knowing that there are so many stages in Ultimate has me stupidly excited to dig in. I feel like I'll never be able to get tired of any one stage, because how can you get tired of a stage when there are 10 trillion stages? Then the music mode, where you've got hundreds and hundreds of tracks from throughout Nintendo history, and you can listen to them all with a dedicated music player even when the system is in sleep mode? They did not need to do that. In no way were they obligated to include that feature or even that much music. The inclusion or exclusion of that feature would probably not end up affecting even one single sale of the game. From a business standpoint, it would make no difference in the long run. But they did it anyway. They did it because they wanted to and because it was something they thought we would like. Papa Sakurai, you bless us. And can I just say before we move on, Shovel Knight? I don't normally like to make generalizations like this, but if you're only disappointed that he's an assist trophy and not a full fighter, I don't think you know how this process of picking fighters works. There are certain criteria that have to be met, and third-party characters only tend to get in when they're old classics from big companies that have been buds with Nintendo for decades. The fact that an indie character is in the game at all, even as an assist trophy, is huge. And that's another piece of amazing fan service right there. Enough people said they wanted him in the game, so this was how Sakurai delivered. Shovel Knight. An indie character. First an amiibo, now an assist trophy. It's too awesome. The next thing that really struck me in this direct was the number of options and features on display. Lack of options has seriously hurt many of Nintendo's other multiplayer offerings. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is fun because it will always be fun to be playing Mario Kart, but the game squanders the opportunity to be so much more. If you watched my review, you'll know that play sessions with my friends have been plagued by sayings like, "Why isn't this an option?" And "Why do we have to play it this way?" And "Wow, we could be having way more fun if we could change this one tiny thing." Mario Tennis Aces, same thing. The lack of multiplayer options is baffling and disappointing and hurts its overall quality. It's like a lot of Nintendo's teams are good at coming up with fun gameplay styles, but have no idea how to actually make a user-friendly, multiplayer-centric experience. But Smash, dear goodness Smash. The Smash meter alone changes everything! Smash Balls were kind of wild cards, but now if you want, you can turn Final Smashes into something that's all about skill, so you can still enjoy using Final Smashes in a more competitive environment. Then the ability to play any stage with the battlefield layout so you can do some no-frills battling but still enjoy the fun visuals. That might have been in the Wii U version, but even if it was, it's still cool. Or how about the option to turn stage hazards on and off? That right there is the sort of thing that would not be an option in a different multiplayer Nintendo game, and everyone would complain that it hurts the experience and it would never be changed. Because I'm sorry if I'm being harsh, but that's just the way it's been so many times in my Nintendo playing career. But not here. The option is in your hands. In fact, it would take too long to go over all the options and modes so far revealed for Smash Ultimate, but if you watch the Direct, you know that there are so many options and modes. So many ways to play, so that no matter where you are on the spectrum, whether a casual couch player or a competitive pro or anything in between, you're covered. There's something for you to do. There are more luck-based modes, there are more skill-based modes, there are modes where things change around and you have to think on your feet and adapt and use a lot of different characters. It's incredible. It just doesn't matter how you want to play. You can do it. And no matter what people say to me when I complain about this kind of stuff in reviews and whatnot, options are always a good thing. Even beyond turning a simple fun game into something deeper and more satisfying for everyone, options can turn a couch multiplayer game into a truly competitive one. It's obvious for a number of reasons that Sakurai wants Smash Ultimate to be played competitively like Melee is, and giving us this bevy of tools and options is one way to help that happen. Much how one simple feature can seriously impact how much fun my friends and I have with a game, it can impact a game's chances of being tourney-friendly. And when you look at the amount of fan service and modes and options and everything going into the game, you know what that really says? You know what really strikes me about all that? How much Sakurai and the team care about this game and how much stinking work they're putting into it. It's no secret that Sakurai is a total workaholic, always working crazy hours and nearly killing himself trying to get these games done. I don't like that he does that, and I can only hope that this time he's treating himself better, but at the same time, I can really appreciate what he's doing. Some games feel kinda cheap. Now, I'm not naming names, and I'm not even saying this is just a Nintendo thing. I'm just saying that in the game industry as a whole, sometimes I look at a game and I go, yeah, they clearly didn't have to spend a lot of time or money on this, and they're still selling it for a bunch of money. And hey, whatever. If it's a good game and people like it, they can buy it and the company can keep making it. Fine. But Sakurai and his team are pampering us with this Smash Brothers. They're clearly working their fingers to the bone, tweaking and fine-tuning and adding and adding and adding to ensure that this truly is the ultimate Smash Brothers experience. I mean, the ability to either display all echoes as individual fighters or stack them? Why? Why would they include that? It's such a small thing, yet somehow it makes me so happy. Because you know what? It just feels good. It feels good to see that they care so much. It makes me feel like I'm gonna get my money's worth on launch day and then some. And I think all this goodwill is making other people feel the same way too. Everywhere I go, I see people who are like, I was on the fence about this one, or I'm not even a Smash fan, but I am getting this game so hard the exact second it releases. I myself haven't been huge into Smash for ages. I skipped Smash 4 entirely. I was more excited for this one simply because I've gotten back into couch multiplayer the last few years, and of course I'm more into Nintendo in general since my channel started going places, and the Switch itself just makes me more interested in playing certain kinds of games than I used to be. But dude, that Smash Direct, it brought me somewhere. I was really impressed while I watched, which again, you might already know. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh! What? But the more I reflect on what I saw and talk about it and make videos about it, the more the hype grows. I'm more excited now for Smash Ultimate than I thought I would get. Way more so. And man, it feels good. It feels real good to be so hyped for a game, even if it also hurts so bad to keep watching directs like these, knowing that it's still so many months away. Before we go, I want to talk about one more thing that didn't feel like it fit in with the whole discussion, so I thought I'd save it for the end of the video. Now that we've gotten so many reveals for oft-requested characters, the question remains, will we get any more? If there are any more fighters to reveal, will they be more slightly obvious choices like Simon Belmont and Chrom, or will they be a little more surprising like Ridley and King K. Rool? Well, let's go down the list of the picks I see most often, and I'll tell you what I think the chances are. The biggest one is probably Geno, and I'm pretty torn here. On the one hand, he's not even well known outside of the relatively small circle of people who played Super Mario RPG, the one single game he was in. I mean, he has absolutely zero presence elsewhere beyond the little sprite in the first Mario and Luigi game or whatever. On the other hand, what's the common theme with these reveals so far? They've been characters that we just wanted and asked for. People have been asking for Geno. At this point, I don't think I can say he's off the table, especially considering he already got a little love in Smash 4 in the form of a Mii costume. It wasn't much, but it was at least a little recognition that he exists and that Sakurai is aware that a lot of people want him. And this may be somewhat beside the point, but including Geno would be a perfect way to drum up some interest in a Super Mario RPG remake, so I'm saying. But to give you a solid answer, since Nintendo never does what we expect and every prediction I've ever made about anything has been wrong, I say that there's no way Geno will make it to Smash. Nuh-uh. Not never. Next, I see Banjo and Kazooie a lot. This one I'm very doubtful of. They currently have no representation on any platform, and I don't think they're old enough to be considered legacy characters. You could technically say the same thing about Cloud. He was born in the same generation and basically only had the one game, but he had much more of an impact on the gaming landscape, and Final Fantasy as a series is still going pretty strong today. Banjo-Kazooie is basically nothing more than a fond memory right now. I certainly hope I'm wrong, but I don't think it's gonna happen. On to Shadow. He doesn't seem like a very important character outside of the very passionate Sonic fanbase. However, it would be pretty darn easy to make him an Echo Fighter, and again, he's someone people have been asking for. So I say he's pretty likely at this point, especially considering the whole heroes and villains kind of theme they're going with here. Plus, Sega and Nintendo have never been more chummy with each other than they are now, so it would make plenty of sense. Octolings, super likely. In fact, I'd say it's like a hair away from being an absolute sure thing at this point. I mean, it would just be too easy to make them Echo Fighters. I'm seeing a lot of people say that Octo Expansion hasn't been around long enough for them to include Octolings in Smash, but you know what? They date all the way back to the first Splatoon, plus Nintendo's different departments are allowed to talk and plan stuff like this together, plus, come on, it's literally just different hair, and maybe a different costume too if they felt like it. Not the sort of thing that takes years of work to pull off. Sora, I don't see it. I don't know, I just don't see it. He would fit really well, like, as a fighter, but I don't think he's quite iconic enough. Doesn't seem like the kind of character Nintendo would care to include. And then, I keep seeing Goku's name get thrown around, and at first I thought it was just a joke, but now I think I'm really seeing some serious requests. So just for the record, no. Never. He's not even a video game character. He's an anime character. Plus, you couldn't pit him against these other characters and tell me that they've even got a chance of winning. He's basically a god. He can destroy planets just by thinking about them hard enough. Then last, but certainly not least, or at least I would never say he was least, lest I should be eaten alive by his rabid fans, Waluigi. No. I thought he was a likely candidate before. In fact, I'm still surprised he didn't make it, but King K. Rool of all characters did. It's a little baffling, but no. He's an assist trophy. They're not going to make a whole assist trophy just to trick us into thinking he's not in the roster. The trophy is what he gets, and that actually makes me feel like there's little chance of him coming as a DLC character either. Removing an item retroactively to make room for a character seems unlikely. Possible, sure, but really unlikely. No, I really do believe that Sakurai was harassed and tormented by enough people and eventually was like, let's give them everything they want, except Waluigi. And then he made him into an assist trophy just to crush everyone's hopes by the millions all at the same time, and used him as an example of how you can attack and defeat trophies now, just so we could all watch him be beaten and killed on screen. Sakurai's giving so much to this game that this was the one thing he decided to do for himself. And you know what? I think he deserves it. If this really is his last Smash Brothers game, he deserves this one small victory over the nastier Smash fans. So how about it, huh? Smash Brothers. Yep. Hey, but now you know. Now you know Smash Brothers. Yeah. Oh. But had you considered Smash Brothers? It's true. Yeah. Dark Samus.